Breaking news, Segura is recently retired from the MLB. So he's a former player that played for the Angels, Brewers, Diamondbacks, Mariners, Phillies, Marlins, infielder. He announced his retirement after 12 MLB seasons that his agent pretty much confirmed. He's 35 years old and he made his MLB debut with the Angels in 2012. Appearing in just one game for them before being dealt to Milwaukee. He'd go to make his first All-Star team with the Brewers before making his second and final one with the Mariners in 2018, and his last appeared in the majors in 2023 with the Marlins. In about 1,413 total games, he owned a career slash line of 281, 327, and 401 with 110 home runs and 513 RBI. Yeah, so pretty much he had a pretty solid career, had All-Star games. Also really good stats, and I'm gonna go over those stats right now. So, like I pretty much told you, he was with the LA Angels, like one game, and then he dealt with the Brewers, and in Milwaukee he did really good. He played a bunch of games, over 140 games, and he pretty much didn't do a lot as for home runs, only about between 6 to 12 home runs. But RBI, he did contribute a good chunk, between 30 to 50 RBI in each of those seasons. Stolen bases, he was pretty good with stolen bases, had a good amount of speed in him, but he was mainly used for an average bat for, you know, singles, doubles, and sometimes triples. As for infield, he was a solid infielder, as I've seen playing with the Phillies and the Marlins. I didn't really watch him as much with the Brewers, but I've seen him doing really good with the Phillies at that certain specific time. I would say a little bit in the Mariners, a little bit, like 1 year, 2 years, that's when I started to learn a little bit more about him as a player. But yeah, he did pretty good with, he did really good with the Milwaukee. Had a, let me look at the average. The average he had was 294, 246, and 257. So 294 for his, my bad, 264, 294, and 246, and 257, yeah. So I would say the second year in Milwaukee was his best year. He had 294 average, and then his somewhat not great-ish, you would say, year was 246, which was his third year in Milwaukee. But he still contribute one way or another with the RBIs, with the average, with the stolen bases, and also with the walks. The walks was okay, it wasn't the greatest, but it was okay. He did get on. Then he went to Arizona. Arizona, it was pretty much one of his, I would say, one of his best careers. Very impressive. His at-bats was one of the best. He had 637 at-bats, 203 hits. His average was 319. He's pretty much was a really good 64 RBIs, 20 home runs. So pretty much this was one of the best seasons of his career in Arizona. And then his OPS was really good. It was, my bad, 867. So really good. He played over 153 games. So Arizona was one of his best seasons. He also was the MVP race award. He was 13th. 13th, but still very impressive. But he did really good in Arizona, and then he went to Seattle for 2 years, which was, what was it? Let me check Seattle. Seattle, he did really good in Seattle, hit over 300. OPS was also really good, about mid 750s and higher to 776, so really good on that All-Star game for the second year in Seattle. So I would say his prime was between, I would say, 2016 to 2019 as like major prime. I wouldn't count 2021 as his prime, but he did play good for 2021. But 4 years in his prime with Arizona, Seattle, and one in Philly was really key in his career. Very impressive. And then the last 3 years in Philly wasn't the greatest. I mean, yeah, he hit 290 the year before. He almost, well, 2 years before he left Philly. And his OPS was solid. But then for some reason, last year in Philly wasn't the best. It was very shocking because he did have a really steady career in the middle of his prime. He had about 4 to 6 years, 4 to 5 years. That was pretty solid for his career. But overall, he did hit pretty solid. Like, he had maybe one of his worst career was his last year in Miami. And as you know, Miami, no offense to the Marlins, but they are not a good organization when it comes to like keeping players and developing players as well. I mean, you could say the pitching side is maybe better than the hitting side now, but overall he had a pretty good career. Like, his second lowest was 246, but he really hit between 250-ish to about 319 average, which is pretty much average to above average to MLB players in the league. But yeah, 12 years in the league, you know, hit over 513 RBI, excuse me, 110 home run. Oh, my bad, not 110 home. 110 RBI, my bad. What, home run? My bad, 110 home run, yes. And then, yeah, had over 1,000 hits. His batting average was 281 total, so pretty good. Yeah, he had a really good career, I would say. You know, as you know, every MLB wishes they can win a World Series and be in multiple All-Star games, but he did go for 2 All-Star games. And yeah, I want to say congratulations to Gene for having a very successful season and well, my bad, not season, career. And I hope he really ventures out into other things outside of baseball, or still sticks with baseball. But let's just see what life takes him, and congratulations to him.